Analysis of variance ANOVA is a statistical formula used to compare variances across the means or average of different groups. A range of scenarios used is to determine if there is any difference between the mean of different groups.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone, my name is Jasmine. Before we discuss the question that was shown just now, I will first explain to you how to perform ANOVA analysis using SPSS. So, here is step by step on how to perform ANOVA analysis using SPSS. Okay, step 1, open your SPSS application and the data set that contains max score for each group. For your information, I use Excel to reorganize each data by category before insert it in SPSS. This will make it easier for us to perform ANOVA analysis in SPSS. As you can see, I already organized each data in its respective category. First, I prepare two columns to separate the data. In this Excel, X is for teaching methods and Y is for math score. Next, we will run a test for normalities. First, open SPSS, click at Variable View. For the first line, I will write X to show the factors of variables. For label, I will write teaching methods. And at the value column, I click at the right and appear the dialog of value labels. At the value column, I will write 1. And at the label, I will write traditional. Now click Add. Okay, continue to the next data. 2 is for computer-based. Add 3 for hands-on activity. Add, click OK. For decimal, I put at 0 because there is no decimal in my data, and other column will remain default. Next, at the second column, I will write Y, and at the label column, I will write math score. And for the decimal, I will put at 0 because there is no decimal in my data, and other column will remain default. Next, click at Data View, and here we can see there is variable X for teaching method and variable Y for math score. Now, I will transfer the data that was in Excel to SPSS. Okay, now we will open Excel, copy the data, and paste it in SPSS. Okay, now the data was in SPSS. The next step is to do the normality test. First, we click Add, Analyze, go to Descriptive Statistics, click Explore. For teaching method, enter it in factor list, and for math score in dependent list. Click at Plot, and click at Normality Plot with Test. Continue. Okay. Here we can see the related SPSS output has appeared. This is the descriptive data, and the most important is test for normalities. Alright, next we will do homogeneity test and a one-way ANOVA. Okay, so both of these tests can be done together. Alright, first, click Analyze, go to Compare Means, and choose One-Way ANOVA. Okay, for the teaching method, enter it in factor column. And for the math score, we enter it at dependent list. And go to the post hoc, click Turkey, and continue. Click Options, click Descriptive, click Homogeneity of Variance Test, and continue, then click OK. Alright, now we can see the output of one-way ANOVA in SPSS data. This is the important information: ANOVA, post hoc test, homogeneous subsets. Alright, done. I hope you guys can understand all the steps that I have shown to you. Next, I will pass to Anissa to explain more detail about the questions. Thank you.
Question A. State the null hypothesis HO and the alternative hypothesis HA for this study. B. Perform an ANOVA to determine if there are any significant differences in math performance between the group. Use a significance level of 0.05. C. State the conclusion based on the result of the ANOVA. D. If the ANOVA result indicate a significant difference, which group can conclude to have a different mean math score? Perform a post hoc analysis using Tukey's HSD test, compare the groups, and identify any significant difference. The null hypothesis HO and the alternative hypothesis HA for this study will be: for HO, there is no significant difference in math performance between the group, while for HA, there is a significant difference in math performance between the groups.
For question B, we must perform an ANOVA. Firstly, we need find mean square, and we get 159.200. We know that three groups for means are different. Okay, so we must refer to post hoc test to get which part mean is include to zero. Okay, we get traditional hands-on activity from lower bound to upper bound, which is negative 10.12 to 1.32 is include to zero, and hands-on activity traditional is from negative 1.32 to 10.12 is include to zero, so we get this different. Okay, next, for sum of squares between and within, which is 318 and 4.400 and 138.000. How we find this? We must add all data and square them. Okay. For degree of freedoms, between we get 2, while within we get 12. For a significant level, we only get 0.01, which is lower than 0.05. Next, we go to ISMA for explains question C.
For the next question is, state your conclusion based on the result of the ANOVA. Once you have performed the ANOVA in SPSS, using the provided data, you will obtain an output with the ANOVA table containing relevant statistics such as the F statistic, p-value, and degree of freedoms. To interpret the result, look for the p-value associated with the F statistic in the ANOVA table. This p-value indicates the statistical significance of the difference between the groups. Typically, a significant level of 0.05 is used. If the p-value is less than the chosen significance, which is 0.05, it suggests that there are significant differences between at least two of the groups. In this case, you will reject the null hypothesis and conclude that there is a significant effect of the teaching method on the student performance.
If the ANOVA result indicate a significant difference, which group can you conclude to have a different mean math score? Perform a post hoc analysis using Turkey HSD test to compare the group and identify any significant differences. So what is Turkey HSD test? Turkey HSD test is a post hoc test commonly used to assess the significance of difference between pair group of member means. So what we can find in SPSS, at the post hoc test, we can see dependent variable, which is math score, and Turkey HSD. At the table, we can see teaching method, mean difference, STD error, significant, and lower bound and upper bound for 95% confidence interval. So question number D are related to question number C. The answer are, since the ANOVA result do not indicate a significant difference, we cannot perform post hoc analysis such as the Turkey HSD test to identify specific. Thank you.